Another title that we've talked about on the YouTube channel is Titanfall, guys. And the success of Titanfall up to this point, but also kind of the significant potential it had with Titanfall 1 and then Titanfall 2. Obviously, there was a downfall there. And what the future looks like for Titanfall, and what could the future kind of tell us about this franchise, and all in all, guys, what happened to this franchise, because I think really two words define what actually happened to Titanfall, and that was Apex Legends. So let's talk about it. An article that was written by Colin Campbell of Polygon, why Respawn made a Titanfall game without Titans and not Titanfall 3. So, Apex Legends was born out of a previous plan to make Titanfall 3, a game that is, for now, not in development. Respawn's new Battle Royale game is set in the Titanfall universe, but does not include Titans, which are giant combat mechs and a major part of the franchise. We spoke to Respawn execs about the decision that led to Apex Legends, which was released, which obviously, guys, this article was released back in February 2019. Respawn had been working on a version of Titanfall 3 at some point, but the success of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and the company's acquisition by Electronic Arts caused a rethink. According to executive producer Drew McCoy, Respawn had been playing with various player versus player modes using assets from Titanfall 2. Now, we all know that with Titans and things of that nature, it has come to Apex Legends, and Apex Legends, of course, is within the Titanfall universe, but obviously a lot of people that are within Titanfall and play those games very religiously, they want to see a continuation of the Titanfall franchise, which I think, guys, is going to be in development at some point in the future, and I think Apex Legends might actually help the Titanfall franchise as a whole with getting bigger and bigger over time. We knew we were onto something, McCoy said. When PUBG started blowing up in 2017, we recognized that it wasn't just establishing a new mode, it was a new genre. It was its own thing. The team decided to focus on these experiments with an emphasis on characters rather than mechs. In the standalone Titanfall games, players occasionally jumped into Titans, which cause huge damage but are slower. We wanted characters that aren't just about mechanical differences, but that are deep and rich, McCoy said. We wanted to zoom out from the core Titanfall series and find another part of the world. And that's exactly what they found, guys, with Apex Legends. He said that the move was part of a bigger culture change that had been taking place when Electronic Arts fully acquired Respawn in 2017. He added that the change was kind of harrowing and that Apex Legends was a very different game for us. Now, I asked game designer Mackie McCandlish why Respawn is working on a Titanfall game without Titans. The Titan as a mechanic tends to fulfill the fantasy of a giant robot, he said. It has to be able to almost trivially destroy other players. It's like playing poker and holding 4 aces. We could have made the Titan a limited time mode that allowed people to briefly live out that power fantasy, but that's not a sustainable way to play in Battle Royale. We started with everything we'd ever made up to that point, McCandlish added. Our guiding light was, is this going to lend itself to thousands of hours of play? We've been experimenting on survival mode since 2015. We loved playing games like Battle Royale. On the saturation of the Battle Royale games, he said it's less iterated upon than Team Deathmatch or similar modes. We saw that 3-man squads was a way for us to differentiate from all the other games. And so, look, Apex Legends is what happened, guys, and that's what happened to Titanfall. Titanfall, I don't think, is lost or gone in any way, shape, or form. What I will say is that they are focused fully on Apex Legends and the success of Apex Legends, and it's had a lot of success, guys. I mean, Apex is a pretty big game as far as a first-person shooter on a BR. Now, I think what they do need to do, in my opinion, is continue adding other game modes and maybe, other maps and things of that nature. I've always said that about BR, that there's, after a while, people are going to want to play, on other maps or, more close quarters and things of that nature. See, like, I'll give you an example, like with Call of Duty Warzone comes out and it's a massive hit, right? It's basically topping the charts. But here's the great thing about Warzone is when you get kind of sick and tired of playing Warzone, you can go over, start playing some Team Deathmatch or Search and Destroy or some other game mode, or even like gunfight, 1v1 gunfights or 2v2 gunfights. And, there's a bunch of other stuff that you can do to connect with the entirety of the universe of Call of Duty in Modern Warfare. I think Apex needs to do the same thing, having a story mode, having different co-op modes, other modes outside of just the Battle Royale. That's what I think the future needs to be for Battle Royale, is not just one game mode. It needs to be, that is a game mode, but it's also other things, that are with it. And maybe the BR is the most popular mode within the game, but I don't think it should be solely that. I think it needs to be other things on top of that. And I think Apex is a perfect example of something that could be just like its own thing, where Titanfall could maybe just go by the wayside, and Apex has its own campaign, it has its own co-op modes, it has its own, all of those different things, right? Different game modes that get people to continue coming back to the game. And adding Titans and adding, things to a campaign and really trying to connect those worlds together between Titanfall and Apex Legends, I think that they could certainly do it. But that's just my personal opinion, guys. I would love to hear from all of you. What do you guys think about it, as far as what do you guys think happened to Titanfall as a franchise at this point? At this point, guys, I think that they are going to come back to Titanfall at some point or another. But right now, why would they do it when they have so much success with Apex Legends, and maybe they can continue just making Apex Legends better and better as time goes? And if they're able to do that, maybe Titanfall we won't see for a long time, but I do believe that it probably is in very early phases of maybe development, and along with Apex Legends, I think that this franchise could just get bigger and bigger over time. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What would you guys want to see in a Titanfall 3? And for more Titanfall videos and content, stay here with Zero TV.